The moment Shen Yu stepped into Shanghai that night, everything shifted, and if you love Dyshen stories, this is the one you do not want to miss, so subscribe, like, comment, and share right now, because what unfolded next had fans holding their breath across the world. The city was already glowing, but something about that evening felt different. Cameras were waiting, yet no one expected what was about to happen. Shen Yu appeared calmly, stepping out of the car dressed in Alexander Wang, and the energy around her changed instantly. It was not loud at first. It was quiet shock, the kind that spreads slowly before it explodes. People stopped walking. Conversations faded. Phones lifted into the air without anyone saying a word. She moved with confidence, but also with softness. The outfit hugged her perfectly, yet it was her presence that made the strongest statement. Shen Yu did not rush. She looked ahead, calm and composed, like someone who knew the moment mattered. Whispers began moving through the crowd. Some said she looked stronger than ever. Others said she looked like someone who had already made a decision. Inside the venue, the atmosphere grew heavier. Insiders later revealed that staff paused just to watch her walk past. Every step echoed with memories fans never forgot. The past roles, the shared interviews, the unfinished stories. And just when everyone thought the night could not grow more intense, something unexpected happened. Dylan Wang arrived. No announcement. No spotlight chasing him. He simply appeared. Yet the reaction was instant. Phones shook. People gasped. A quiet ripple of disbelief ran through the space. He followed closely, not beside her, not ahead of her, but close enough that no one could ignore the connection. It was subtle yet powerful. The kind of moment that does not need words. Those who saw it live said time felt slow. Dylan looked calm but focused. His eyes found her almost immediately. Not dramatically, not for show. Just a look that felt familiar. Like recognition. Like comfort. Like something unfinished, gently resurfacing. Inside sources say there was no plan for them to appear together, yet fate seemed to pull them into the same space at the same time. They did not speak publicly. They did not pose together. But the silence between them spoke louder than any statement ever could. Fans online reacted within seconds. Clips spread rapidly. Comments poured in. People replayed the footage over and over, searching for meaning in every glance and movement. Some noticed how Dylan slowed his pace when Shen Yu slowed. Others noticed how she did not once look surprised to see him there. Inside the event, the tension was electric. People felt like they were witnessing something rare. Not a performance. Not a publicity move. But a moment that slipped through the cracks of control. Something real enough to be felt even through a screen. Later that night, Shen Yu was seen smiling quietly as she spoke with someone nearby. Dylan stood at a distance yet never left the area. It was not obvious, but it was constant. Presence without pressure. Closeness without explanation. Fans began asking questions immediately. Was this planned? Was this coincidence? Was this the beginning of something new or the continuation of something never finished? No answers came. And that silence only made the story stronger. What made the moment unforgettable was not drama but restraint. Two people sharing space without forcing a narrative, yet creating one effortlessly. The kind of moment fans dream about, but rarely see. As the night ended, they left separately, yet the impact remained. Shanghai did not forget. Neither did the fans. Dyshen trended across platforms. Discussions grew deeper. Emotions ran high. Hope returned quietly but firmly. This was not a confirmation. It was not a denial. It was something in between. A spark. A reminder. A pause before whatever comes next. And if this is how the story continues, then one thing is certain. Everyone will be watching closely. The night in Shanghai was alive yet oddly silent for those who truly noticed. The streets glimmered with city lights, reflecting off wet pavement as if the city itself held its breath. Shen Yu moved with calm precision, every step deliberate, graceful, commanding attention without demanding it. Her Alexander Wang outfit hugged her form but did not define her. It was her presence, the quiet aura of someone who had endured and grown, that made the entire scene unforgettable. Cameras flashed, fans gasped, and social media erupted in seconds. Dylan Wang followed, just far enough to remain unnoticed by the casual observer, yet close enough that the energy between them was impossible to ignore. He did not speak to the cameras or the press. He did not seek validation. He simply existed in the same space, a silent counterpart to Shen Yu's brilliance. Fans watching live could feel it, even through screens, a magnetic tension, calm yet electric, that radiated without words. Inside the venue, the atmosphere was nearly tangible. Whispers rippled across the room. Is this Dyshen? Did they plan this? Is a reunion finally happening? Cameras captured fleeting glances, subtle nods, small shifts in body language that fans dissected endlessly. Insiders would later say that for a moment, it felt like time slowed. Every heartbeat, every breath, every glance between them became monumental. Shen Yu paused briefly near a set of stairs, her expression serene yet alert. She smiled faintly at a colleague, a gesture both polite and intimate, before her gaze found Dylan across the room. Their eyes met for a fraction longer than expected. No words, no gestures beyond the silent acknowledgement, yet it spoke volumes. The crowd sensed it, the flashes of cameras barely capturing the depth of what was unfolding. Backstage, staff whispered among themselves. They had seen Shen Yu and Dylan interact before, but tonight was different. There was a weight in the air, a history unspoken yet undeniable. The restraint between them, the subtle signals of connection, created a tension that was almost unbearable to watch yet impossible to look away from. Hours passed, yet they remained in proximity. Shen Yu moved through the crowd, but Dylan's presence never wavered. He adjusted a strap of his jacket, stole a glance, and in that moment the world seemed to pause. He was careful not to crowd her, but careful enough that every observer could feel the silent gravity. Later, Shen Yu found a quiet balcony overlooking the city. The light stretched endlessly into the horizon, 1,000 reflections of what the night had become. Dylan approached slowly, speaking softly, just above a whisper. Fans watching online would later replay that moment endlessly, imagining what words could have passed in the shadowed stillness. He spoke of pride, of admiration, of the moments he had watched her succeed from afar. He reminded her that no matter the noise of the world, her strength and resilience had never gone unnoticed. Shen Yu listened, eyes shimmering with emotion, a mixture of relief, joy, and understanding that had been buried for years. Their conversation stretched over an hour. No one else intruded. Cameras could not capture the nuance, the pauses, the laughter, the small confessions that made this more than a reunion. It was a reaffirmation, a rebuilding of trust, a quiet acknowledgement that despite years of distance, their connection had never faded. As the night deepened, they walked together briefly through a secluded corridor. Hands never touched, yet their proximity created a silent bond. The city below seemed to fade, leaving only the two of them, a shared history alive in subtle gestures. A nod here, a brief smile there, a glance exchanged with depth far beyond words. Meanwhile, social media exploded. Clips circulated globally. Dyshen fans analyzed every frame, every movement, every expression. Hashtags trended across continents. Debates raged, theories multiplied, and excitement soared. Every subtle motion, every silent acknowledgement became fuel for the fire. Some celebrated, some speculated, but all were captivated. Inside the venue, even colleagues began noticing the dynamic. Shen Yu was polite, composed, yet there was a softness in her interactions that only Dylan could evoke. He remained attentive, but calm, a quiet protector and companion in the background. The restraint in their actions, the deliberate avoidance of spectacle, only intensified the drama. As midnight approached, they found themselves outside once more. A soft breeze moved through the streets. Dylan finally broke the silence fully, his voice calm yet resonant. He reminded Shen Yu that amidst chaos, rumors, and the judgment of others, clarity was kindness. He said that honesty and presence mattered more than appearances. She nodded, understanding perfectly, a weight lifted from her shoulders. When the crowd had thinned, they left separately, but the echoes of the night lingered. Cameras captured their final steps into the distance, fans dissected every detail, and the story solidified as one of the most unforgettable moments in Dyshen history. The following days, videos and photos went viral globally. Discussions spanned continents. People debated intentions, timelines, and the depth of connection. The silence between them spoke louder than any words could. Insiders hinted that the pair had spent hours in quiet conversation after the event, reaffirming bonds, and planning for what came next. Weeks later, the narrative shifted. Speculation softened into admiration. Debate gave way to respect. The Dyshen story was alive again, not in drama or scandal, but in quiet, meaningful gestures. Fans saw hope. Anticipation for the next chapter grew exponentially. This was never about public statements. It was about presence, intention, and truth. It was about a connection that withstood distance, rumors, and time. Dyshen had returned, not with spectacle, not with dramatics, but with depth, subtlety, and authenticity that made the world stop and pay attention. If you felt the intensity, the emotion, and the raw magnetism of this night, subscribe to Kdrama Drops now, like this video, comment your reactions, and share it with every Dyshen fan you know. The story is far from over, and the next chapter promises even more unforgettable moments, heart-racing drama, and emotional revelations.